former proud Bengal alumni. Wore those Bantam jackets back in the day. And excited to be back here with you guys and to really kind of launch something that's very unique and something that isn't being done anywhere in the state this year, and you guys are going to have the opportunity to do so. Before I introduce to you Sean Goodsell and have him lead you guys on some exercises around mental strength and what your mind can do for you, I just want to share a quick little story and point of excitement that I have for you guys, not only as a former hockey player, but also as a Bengal, right? And that is, I met Sean my junior year of high school, so that's 1998. Okay, good. So 98, so you're born, okay? I met Sean, and I was an athlete who was always excited to look for an edge, how to be better than my competition. I wanted to play college hockey someday. At the time, I wanted to play professional hockey, and so I was always looking for some kind of edge. And when I met Sean, he completely changed the way that I looked at how I set my goals, how I dealt with adversity, how I dealt with focus, how I interacted with my teammates and my coaches. It completely changed for the better the way that I approached not only my game, but how I live my life. And so, obviously, guys, we want to win more hockey games this year, right? Obviously, you guys want to improve. Obviously, you want to beat the competition. You want to finish high in districts, region, go to state. All of those things. Those are all important things, right? But along the way, learning the type of life lessons that are going to help you in school, going to help you with your boyfriend or girlfriend, they're going to help you with your family, they're going to help you with your first job, second job, right? So they're going to help you along the way. You get a great opportunity, as I did and a number of us that played here, to get the opportunity to learn those types of skills while playing great sport, okay? So I'm really excited to have you guys meet with Sean later. After you guys go through some of these exercises, we're going to leave and head into the conference area. We're going to go through some additional work that you guys can actually take with you and start working on tomorrow and start bringing to your practices, bringing to your games in a way that I think is going to make a big impact in your season, as I said, in your life. Okay? So excited to be here today. Back to you guys, seeing the blue, the white, Columbia blue. And without further ado, I'll give you guys Sean Goodsell.
Thanks, Jay. Hey guys, hey gals. Hey. Oh my gosh. You don't play with that intensity, do you?
No.
So I have you for live tonight. I have you for a brief period of time. When I'm done here, I'm going to share with you how you can be a part and how you have the option to be a part of something every week on Wednesday nights. And first thing I want to just say to you is you never know who's going to come into your life on any given day and change your life forever. I was fortunate that in 1998 I got introduced to Blaine hockey because of Scott Bukestad and Steve Larson and Steve Geider. Those three guys have become very good friends and are very good friends. But that day I never knew that I would be sitting across in the locker room from Matt Hendricks. I never knew that I'd be sitting with Justin Johnson. I never knew that I would be sitting with a number of other high-quality players, but also high-quality people. So you never know who's going to show up in your day, and if you are not too distracted, and if you're not too pessimistic, and if you're not too, sleepy about being here, you never know. You might hear something today that you'll never forget that you'll build your life upon. So my challenge to you tonight is I'm going to bring you my best I have tonight. And you're going to learn a little bit about me and why I have a passion for this. And you're going to learn some real practical ways to train and build and strengthen your mind. But my challenge to you is that you're a great listener. You're a great participant. You can participate without saying a word. By being present, by being focused, by being curious, by being interested. And the interesting thing is some of the most successful hockey players that have come through Blaine and now are doing other things, were sitting here one day, and they were the most interested and curious ones. The Justin Johnsons of the world were the ones staying after in the locker room asking questions about how they could take their game and take their life to another level. The Matt Hendricks of the world were the ones who were calling it in the nighttime and saying, hey, Sean, what you said in practice today, I want you to try to help me personalize a little bit. The Matt Moores, the Eric Johnsons, the different people that have come through this association and have not just built great hockey careers, but they've great life careers. So don't miss this opportunity tonight. Okay? Don't miss this opportunity. So you may or may not know this, but your mind, this thing right here, is either a weapon for you to be at your best, or it's your greatest weakness as a hockey player and as a person. There's really no middle ground. It's either helping you or it's hurting you. And you know, my youngest client right now individually is 10 years old. And he is beginning to understand how to build habits, how to build thinking habits, how to prepare, how to deal with struggle and disappointment. He's 10 years old, and he's beginning the process. I also have guys who you watch on TV who play for different teams. And they're trying to figure out the same stuff that the 10-year-old's trying to figure out. So your mind, how old you are, really has nothing to say with how good and how strong your mind is. It's how much you strengthen it and how you work it that dictates whether it works for you and it becomes a weapon. And if you do nothing with your mind, if you have no intention, or if you do no training with it, then it'll stay kind of weak. And when you face competition that is equal or better than you, most likely, the first thing to break down won't be your skills, it'll be your head. So that's why we decided to partner with you guys, is to begin to help you figure out how you're going to grow and train and strengthen your mind. Okay? All right, I got two things I'm going to talk with you tonight. Two concepts. The number one most often asked question that I get over 20 years, I've been doing this for 20 years. The number one most often question I get is, Sean, how do I grow and keep my confidence? How many of you have ever felt like you lost your confidence? Okay. Now, honestly, how many of you have ever felt at some point like you lost your confidence? Raise both hands. Okay, so look around the room. We have all struggled with this. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so what if I told you that I could teach you how to think about confidence in a way where you'd never lose your confidence ever again? Would that be worth listening to? Yes. Would be, wouldn't it? Okay, so I'm asking you to clear your mind of all the things you think about confidence, all the things you've ever thought about confidence, all the times that you felt really awful. I want you to clear your mind for the next couple minutes, and I want you to begin to think about it differently. So I'm going to walk you through, like if you were doing an individual coaching session with me, I'm going to walk you through how I would help you with this. The first thing I would say to you is, what is confidence? Okay, what is confidence? Just throw out ideas. What's confidence? Being proud of yourself. What else? Come on, go ahead. The belief in yourself. What else? What else? Being proud of yourself, believing in yourself. Anything else? Pride? Who said pride? Okay, thank you. Anybody else? We got 3 people that give a crap about this. So you care twice as much as everybody else. Okay, guys, remember this. Confidence is believing not in yourself, but in your skills. Okay, when you go out and play hockey, you have to possess skills to play the game. You have to be able to skate. You have to be able to handle the puck. You have to be able to shoot. You have to be able to learn the game. If you're a goalie, you have to understand angles. You have to understand movement. You have to understand stick position. You have to understand stance. The reason why you spend so much time at practice is because you want to master the skills that give you a reason to believe that you can be successful when you play the game. Does that make sense? If you can't do the skills, then you shouldn't have confidence. Confidence is always connected to skills. Another way of thinking about it is confidence is always connected to competence. Okay, so if you asked me to take an algebra class right now, and you said, here's the test, how confident are you that you can pass the algebra test? I would tell you I have no confidence in my ability to pass the algebra test. Why? Because I don't understand algebra. And it's not because I'm not smart, it's not because I'm incapable of growing the skills, it's because at that moment, I don't have the skills to meet the standards of the test. When you play a game, that's the test. When you practice, that's the time where you build and develop and master the skills. Following me so far? So the reason why your coaches and the reason why your parents and the reason why a lot of people talk about work ethic, it's not because they're looking for ways to drain you of your energy. The reason why coaches talk about work ethic is because if you pour your energy into the development of your skills, then you have a reason to be confident when you play the game. If you go out and practice and you loaf and you don't, focus yourself and you don't push yourself to learn the skills, that's the reason why you don't have confidence on whatever day or whatever night. It's not because, things didn't go your way. It's because, here's the thing, you guys, listen to me when I tell you this. You can't fool yourself. You know if you put in the work. You know if you have the skills. You know if you're capable of playing the game. You know if you can do what you need to do. Nobody, no matter how many times your mom or your dad or your coach will say, hey, it'll go okay, go out and have fun, go out and, as long as you don't have the skills, you won't have the confidence you want. So the number one thing I'm going to tell you about building confidence is this. If you want unshakable confidence, you have to have impeccable work ethic. In other words, you might have to shoot a few extra pucks. You may have to do a few extra things. You may have to listen to me talk about confidence and think about it differently so when you get into a game and you make a mistake, you don't cash your whole confidence. Okay, second thing I wanted. So, number one, confidence is the ability to believe in your skills, not in you, in your skills. Secondly, most of the time, by the time you get to this age, you've invested, let's just say, somewhere around 2,500 to 3,000 hours of time into practice. Is that fair? I mean, many of you, if not all of you, have missed sleepovers with your friends, have had to get up at god-awful hours in the morning, have had to do any number of things, and you've sacrificed in order to play this sport. Fair enough? Okay. So let's just say for a minute here that you've invested about 3,000 of your hours into this sport to get to where you're at today. If I came to you and I said, hey, I'm buying hockey skills today from you. I want to buy your skills and you go and do something different with your life than play hockey. How many of you would sell me your skills for $100? Anybody? Exactly. No way are you going to sell me your skills for $100. That's like an embarrassment, right? What's that? $1 million? You'd sell yours for $1 million? Would you? Okay. How many of you would sell it for $200? 500. How about 1,000? Okay, you guys stick with me on this because when I give you the punchline, you're going to go, oh. How many of you would sell it for $10,000? You got to think a lot higher of yourself. If you spend 3,000 hours playing hockey and you sell it for $10,000, you're not making that much per hour. Okay, listen to me, guys. Listen to me when I tell you this. This has been a game changer for a lot of players. If you won't sell your skill, and if you won't sell your position in hockey for a large sum of money, why do you give up your confidence with one mistake? Make sense? A lot of you sacrifice, invest, get up early, do extra things, do things in the summer, travel. A lot of you do so much to build your skill, and then you go out and play a game. In the first shift, you make a mistake and you're cashed the rest of the game. But you won't sell your skill for a large sum of money, but you'll sell your confidence because of one mistake. See how that is? That's because of how you think about it. None of you would have ever thought of that before. But now when you have a different way of looking at it, the next time you make a mistake, instead of going, wait, I remember that dude that was talking to us that day. He said, why would I sell my confidence for one mistake? Do you know how long that mistake usually takes? Probably less than 2 seconds. So in 2 seconds, you'll go from 3,000 hours of skill work, and in 2 seconds, your confidence will be shot. That's because your mind is not working for you. You're not thinking about your confidence in the right way. So here's the formula. Here's a formula that I'd like you to consider mentally for cultivating an unshakable confidence. Number one, when you go to practice from now on, make a commitment to yourself that you're going to work diligently and hard at the skills that you're working on in that practice. Make a decision now. Don't wait till you get to practice and you're tired and maybe you had a hard day or maybe something's not going. Make a decision now that when you go to practice, that is your confidence building time. Make that decision now, because if you wait till you get to the rink, you're going to go, oh God, I'm tired and I'm hungry. No, make it now. Secondly, make sure that in practice, if let's say your best ability ends at the end of my hand. Okay, make sure that you're challenging yourself to go just a little bit more than where you're comfortable. Okay, this 2 inches between the end of my hand and here is where you grow. It's where your skills get better. It's where your mind functions faster. And what happens to a lot of players is they practice to their point of comfort, and then they wonder why they never get better. You don't get better just by sheer repetition. Just by doing it over and over again, you don't get better. You may feel more comfortable, but you don't necessarily get better. The way you get better is by challenging yourself to do things that go just beyond where you're comfortable. You don't want to overwhelm yourself. You want to go just a little bit, a couple inches past where you're comfortable. If you're practicing in a way and you're always comfortable, then that's a problem. So like when one of your teammates challenges you in practice, forechecks you hard, does something that forces you to work harder, instead of getting ticked off at them, pat them on the back and thank them for helping you get better. The best teams that go this way through the year have practices where people are getting in there and challenging them and making them get better. And the reason why a lot of teams don't do that is because too many players are too immature to handle that. They get offended if somebody challenges them, like someone takes the puck from them, or if somebody stick checks them, or if somebody puts a good hit on them in practice. It's like, really? We're that immature that we can't handle our teammates challenging us because they want to get better? If you guys want to have a great year this year, establish a team culture that says, hey, we're out there to help each other get better, and we're not going to take it easy on each other. We're going to make it hard for team. If I'm on the penalty kill and you're on the power play, I'm not going to make it easy for you to run the power play. I'm going to challenge you because the other team certainly isn't going to go out there and make it easy for you. They're going to try to make your life miserable. So why would you want your teammates to make it easy for you? That doesn't mirror what happens in a game. But you have to be mentally skilled and mentally strong enough to withstand that discomfort. Because here's the thing, when you practice in a way that is uncomfortable, you grow your confidence bank account. So when you play a game, you're not nervous about, I wonder if I can be successful. I wonder if it's going to work out okay. I wonder if I'm going to play the way I want to. You're not going to wonder that because you've been practicing that way all the time. Make sense? Raise your hand if that makes sense. So, one of the things that I want to encourage you to do is, number one, I want you to set a goal of something you're going to work on around your skills every day in practice. You can use the same one every week if you want, or you can use the same one for a week if you want. But I want you to come into every practice with a goal. I call it an intention. So I'm going to get better today at, and you fill in the blank. Don't always wait for your coaches to tell you what to get better at. If you are right now always waiting for your coaches to telling you what to get better at, then you're dependent on your coaches too much. There's a coach that each one of you has within yourself. And you got to activate it. You got to take pride in what you're doing. You have to be proud of who you are. And one of the ways you can be proud of who you are is by being intentional and focused by something you want to work on. Doesn't mean you don't work on what the coach wants you to work on. It means you always come with a goal. I want to work on my shot today. Like I talked to the kid today who plays in the BCHL, it's the British Hockey League, Junior Hockey League. He's having a great year right now. And instead of me going, yay, way to go, you're having a great year, I said, how are you going to get better? What are you going to work on this week? He goes, my skating is good, my puck handling is good, my hockey IQ is good, but my shot isn't very good right now. So I said, I want you to take 15 minutes before every practice or after every practice. I want you to pick 50 pucks up. I want you to choose one spot. I want you to shoot 50 pucks from that same spot. I want you to shoot for the same spot on the net 200 times this week. And then I want you to look for how you're going to do that in the game. So when you get a chance, you're not dishing the puck away. You're firing that puck from that spot because you've trained yourself, because you've been intentional about working on something to improve the quality of your shot. That's what I mean by, you guys are at the age now where you shouldn't have to have somebody telling you what to do all the time. Okay? So make a commitment that every practice you're going to set for yourself a point of focus for something you want to get better at. If you don't know what to get better at, then ask one of your coaches. Say, hey, what do you think I should work on this week? And you can ask them, but don't wait for them to tell you. You go and ask them. And then you work, and you work, and you work, and you work. The greatest way to build unshakable confidence is to work. And that goes for your schoolwork, that goes for your hockey game, that goes for your relationships. Anything you take pride in, the way you become confident in it is to work at it and build the skills. Make sense? All right. Second one, overcoming disappointment. If you play hockey, if you keep playing hockey at the level you're playing at, and you have ambitions, how many of you have ambitions to play college hockey? Okay, good. So if you want to keep improving and keep growing and keep mastering the skills to qualify to play college hockey, you're going to have to build a better relationship with disappointment. There's no way that on your way or on your path to college hockey that you're going to do that without having disappointment and failure. Excuse me. Okay? How many of you have already had moments of failure and disappointment? Okay, we all have. Me too. I had one this morning. I'll share with you a little bit later. What's that? No, I didn't spill my coffee. Did you? Did you feel bad about it? All right. So, I'm going to share with you two concepts. First one is, how many of you ever heard about what a mindset is? You guys know what a mindset is? What's that? Growth mindset. Where did you learn that? You guys are learning about growth mindset in school? Wait a second. Are you guys serious? You guys are learning about growth mindset in school? How many of you know what it is? How does it relate to hockey? How does growth mindset relate to hockey? Okay, so if you can't do something now, by continuing to work at it, eventually you might be able to get there. That's what a growth mindset is, correct? Okay. Anybody else have an idea about how growth mindset fits with hockey? All right, so I'm going to share some ideas with you. Number one, if you play hockey long enough, you're going to get feedback from your coaches. You should get feedback from your coaches. Sometimes the feedback you get from your coaches is going to be critical. It's going to feel like they're telling you that you suck. It's going to feel like you are a failure. It's going to feel like you're not good enough. It's going to feel like, it's not because your coaches are bad. It's because your mindset about receiving feedback is underdeveloped. Here's what it means to have a growth mindset as an athlete. It means that, number one, I make a commitment before I go play that I'm going to give my all. Here's the clincher. When you give your all in hockey, the thing that makes playing hockey hard and difficult is you have no certainty about your outcome. Like, I could go in and play really hard, and I have no idea if I'm going to play well or not. I have no idea if my team's going to win. I have no idea. The hard part about hockey is you can play your best and still lose. You can play your best and still make mistakes. You can play your best and still feel like you failed. The way growth mindset works is, number one, is you commit to be your best, and the feedback that you get, you use for growth. Okay, you use for growth, which means you use to get better instead of as a symptom or a signal that you're not any good. Does that make sense? Just like in school, if you take a test and you don't do well on the test score doesn't mean you're not smart. It means that you have some growth to acquire in order to pass that test. There's too many hockey players in this day and age that their mindsets are so fragile that when they get negative feedback or when they get critical feedback, they start to doubt themselves. You should be thankful for feedback that tells you you need to grow. You should be thankful that you have coaches that are willing to point out to you things you need to get better at. They're not doing it because they want to crush you psychologically. They're doing it because they want you to see part of your game that needs to get better so that you can get your dream of playing college hockey. And I'll give you guys a secret. Here's like the best thing, one of the best things I ever learned. One of the best ways to protect or keep yourself from feeling negative about your feedback is go ask your coaches feedback before they have to tell you. Go ask your coaches, what do I need to get better at? What am I doing good? What things do I need to do in the off season to get better? Interact with your coaches. Don't wait for them to always come to you. So your growth mindset is this. You shift your relationship with disappointment from I don't want to fail to I want to fail as often as I need to in order to grow. See the difference? I don't go out to play to not fail. I go out and play in order to play so boldly that if I fail, I'm going to learn. Same with school. You don't hold back and go, okay, well, I don't want to get the answers wrong. I don't want to state my opinion. No, you boldly state your opinion, and if you need an adjustment, you have a different relationship with it so you can get better. That's what a growth mindset is. Disappointment isn't the thing that you should worry about. Not growing is something you should worry about. Okay? Disappointment isn't fatal as an athlete, but not growing is. Disappointment isn't fatal as a person, but not maturing is. Being afraid is not fatal, but allowing fear to control your life is. Worrying about what everybody else thinks is problematic. Looking at social media all the time and worrying about whether this person looks better or that person looks better. I wonder if I got enough likes over here. That's that's gonna mess with you in a negative way. Deciding who you want to be and living according to who you want to be day in and day out without worrying about what's on Facebook or worrying about what's on Snapchat or Instagram or all those other things, and who knows whatever new things are going to come about. If I had the choice during the hockey season, I'd get rid of all your cell phones and never let you look at them. There's not one thing happening on your cell phone that's helping you right now. Except for when you need to text your parents or you need to stay in touch with your friends. But even then, I would say get a flip phone and call them. You guys we don't talk to each other anymore. We don't even know each other anymore because we're too busy doing this and taking pictures and Snapchatting. It's I guarantee you that if I took all of you guys and I said, I'm going to just pick 2 out of there that you guys know each other. I'm going to sit you up here. I'm going to interview you. I bet you don't know the basics about each other. And it's not your fault. It really isn't. It's that you've been brainwashed into thinking that the device that you carry around with you every day, is where your information about you is. So you've learned, again, I'm not blaming you guys for it, I'm just telling you what's happening here. You've learned to see yourself through this thing. And you want to know something? You know what's dangerous about seeing you through this? Is this will never tell you the truth. It'll never tell you how wonderful you are. It'll never tell you where you need to grow. It'll never tell you the truth. This thing will lie to you constantly. And if you build your life and your expectations on the lies that come through this thing, it's going to be hard for you to reach your goals. I'm not saying you shouldn't have a cell phone. Okay? I'm not saying that. I'm saying that you should make sure that you discipline yourself to turn it off once in a while. And it's certainly before you play games, and it's certainly before you go to practice. Turn the thing off, put it in a place where you can get it after practice or after your game. I realize that some of you like to listen to music and all that kind of stuff. I get it. Turn it on airplane mode then. But please, you guys, I'm begging you. Do you guys know that in Silicon Valley, this is an interesting story. In Silicon Valley, where people build these things, they have kids your age. People that grow companies and build technology. They send their kids to a private school. And none of them can use iPads, iPhones, or any kind of, they have no technology in their school. Did you know that? You did know that? Isn't it interesting that the people that build these things don't let their kids have them? Because they know how addicting it is. They know that forming your identity about yourself from this phone is going to damage you in the long run. That's why they don't let their kids have them in school. That's why your coaches took your phones. Now, there's times where when I do teaching like this that I want you to have your phone because I want you to take notes in your phone because I know that the notes that you're going to have in your phone you're going to look at more likely than if you write them in a notebook that you forget in your hockey bag. So, number 1, how do you build and grow and establish confidence? How do you do that? Anybody, show me you've been listening. Yeah. Okay? Confidence is what? Believing in your skills. How do you master and strengthen your skills? Practice. Out of your comfort zone. Not a lot, just a little. Okay? Growth mindset is what? You do it. How do you do it? Okay, growth mindset is changing your relationship to things that used to disappoint and prove your inadequacy and turning and changing your mindset into seeing those things as opportunities to learn and grow and get better. Now, when I was your age, I was really sensitive. Really sensitive. I had no confidence. I felt inferior to everybody around me. I played 3 sports in high school, 3 sports in college, and I never understood what I'm teaching you right now. And it stole everything from me. The reason I'm standing in front of you right now is because I know, even though we were in a group, that if I had you each one-on-one, and I could eyeball you and look at you, I could find your deepest fear. And most of your deepest fears are that you're going to fail. And most of your deepest fears are that you're going to have a goal and you're not going to make it. Most of your deepest fears are about looking stupid in front of your friends. I know that because I've interviewed thousands of players and thousands of young people. And the reason why I wanted to teach you about confidence is because confidence isn't about everything always going your way. Confidence is about being responsible, about practicing in a manner that helps you master the skills that give you a right to succeed. Okay? Not everything's going to go your way. Some games are going to be awful. Some shifts are going to be horrible. But if you mentally understand that you don't throw away your confidence because of a 2-second bad moment, if you remember what I'm saying, that your skills didn't just go away because of a bad shift, maybe you'll enjoy the game more. Maybe you'll have more fun. Maybe you'll actually cultivate a belief in yourself that goes beyond things going your way. So that's why I wanted to teach you about the power you have to cultivate deep confidence because of how you practice and the skills that you build. Growth mindset is important, you guys, because all of you are going to face disappointment. All of you are going to fail. Okay? I'm not telling you I want you to fail. I'm just going to tell you all are going to fail. You all are going to miss the mark. You all are going to have a goal and not reach it at times. You're all going to have an expectation and fall beneath it. That's not the problem. The problem isn't that you fail. The problem is how you see failure. That's why I want you to begin to shift your thinking about failure and see it as an opportunity to get strong instead of, the fear that if you fail, that's fatal and you're never going to succeed. Okay. My 2 challenges. Remember, number 1 challenge, go to practice every day with a goal. Have something you want to work at. If I were to have another one of these live conversations, I'd hope every one of you would bring a journal. Do you know the highest paid athletes in the world all journal? I mean, I could tell you 10 different NHL guys right now that you would see playing on TV. I can tell you they all journal. They all write down things. They all are fascinated by new ideas. They all are looking for ways to just have a little bit of an edge. They're all looking for ways to just be a little bit better mentally. If you right now want to start one of the best habits you'll ever start in your life, get a journal. And as you listen to the calls that I do on Wednesday nights, I'm going to show you how to use your journal. I'm going to show you what to write down in your journal. I'm going to show you how to grow and how to learn from your experiences. I'm going to show you how to prepare for games. I'm going to show you how to set process or focus goals. I'm going to show you everything you need to do to use that journal. But if you don't have one, I can't show you. So how many of you will make it a point to get a journal between now and next Wednesday? Come on, they're not hard to get. You just got to go to Office Depot or whatever and get one. Okay? How many of you will commit, if you can, on Wednesday nights at 8 o'clock to tune in? It's called Edge Work. Where I'm going to take 30 minutes and I'm going to teach you a different mental skill every Wednesday. How many of you will tune in to that? Okay. Good. If you can't, if you miss it, because you got stuff going on maybe you're at practice or whatever, it all gets recorded and you can all listen to it on your phones if you want in your time outside of practice. Okay, now, questions. You guys have questions? Yes. I will leave the number and the access code with your coaches, and they will pass it out to you guys, and you'll know exactly how to get into it. Thank you for asking. Any other questions? No questions? Okay, I want to ask you guys some questions then. Somebody tell me one thing that they took from this that they didn't know before they got here.
That confidence isn't just in yourself,
You didn't know that before you came here, right? Thank you. See, this kid spoke up back here. Thank you for speaking up. It takes courage to speak your mind. Who else has their hand? Yeah. Hey, you guys, can you guys hear him? Okay, part of it's because you're not listening. So, yep, you didn't know that, did you? Did you hear what he said? Okay. Anybody else? Questions? Or what, not questions, but what you learned. What are you going to take from this? Yeah. Say that again? Yes. Depending on how is negative feedback productive? Right. You can convert it into something to learn. Okay. Think of feedback as something like food. When you eat food, you convert it to energy. Okay. When you get feedback, you convert it to something you learn. And if you learn it, then your performance has a chance of evolving. So thank you for that. Anybody else? Yeah. Was that an enlightenment for you? How easy it is for your confidence to get shot after all the years that you spend building your skills? In 2 seconds, it can just go like that. So you're gonna let that happen, aren't you? Anybody else? Anybody else? How about you guys back there? Any of you guys hear anything that was new to you?
This is the first time I've heard about growth mindset, so that was something new to me that I will definitely continue to look into and make it a part of my strategy.
Yeah, there's one of the things I didn't say is there's a book out, and the name of the book is called Mindset. And the person that wrote the book is a lady by the name of Carol Dweck. And it's a book about this thick, and you can pick it up at any bookstore. You can buy it on Audible, and it's a good read. And in there, she unpacks the details of a growth mindset. So that would be a great resource to pick up if you want to go deeper in that. Anybody else? Yeah. Is that new? Will you do it? Cool. Anybody else? Yeah.
The time you put into like work and stuff has a lot more value than you think it would have.
That's new for you? Thank you. Hey, you guys, you know how hard it is to speak up in front of your peers? And there's a reason why I'm asking you to do that. A lot of people will never ask you to talk in front of your peers because they know how hard it is. But you have no idea how much respect I have for people that are willing to, in a group this size, have a voice and say what they think. That, in this day and age, that's one of the most courageous things a person can do right now. So I hope that in the future, as you are in team meetings and as you are in group sessions and as you are even in class in school, that when somebody raises, listen, you guys, take this serious, okay? When someone raises their hand and says, I want to share my voice with the group, do you have any idea? I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I get afraid when I say my opinion amongst my peers. Because I'm wondering, are they going to judge me? Are they going to really connect with what I say? Or are they going to go talk behind my back about what I said and they really are going to hurt me more than help me? I know from experience that a lot of you have a lot to say, you have a lot to share, you have a lot of things going on in your life, and most of you never raise your hand because you're afraid. Let's make this a year where we build teams that are safe, where people can speak their mind, where they can talk out loud without being ridiculed, where they can try things they maybe wouldn't have tried, where we can fail and lift each other up instead of fail and beat each other down. Okay? Mental skill is not just about thinking positive. It's not just about, overcoming disappointment. It's not just about becoming more confident. Mental skill is really about being an amazing human being. It's about raising the standards of how we treat one another. And by the way, it's about raising the standards about how we treat ourselves. And that we don't beat the crap out of ourselves because we make mistakes, that we learn to be people that are graceful and kind to ourselves while we try to grow and get better. And that we treat our teammates with respect, and we treat our coaches with respect, and we treat our parents with respect. You can't be an absolute idiot in school and at home and then come to the ice and expect to succeed. Okay? That's another thing about the best and highest performing athletes I've ever worked with. They're the same when they're at home and when they're in the community and when they're on the field or at the rink. They don't change because they're character-based people. And character-based people see themselves as people who build each other up, not tear each other down. So you want to do something special with Blaine Youth Hockey? Yes, learn how to be confident, learn how to overcome disappointment, learn how to train your mind. But first and foremost, make a decision to be a great human being. You guys have been amazing to me tonight. I know you guys sat in school today. I know that you guys probably thought about coming to this and thought to yourself, oh man, I don't know about that. That's okay, I understand. I probably would have thought the same as at your age. But you guys have been amazing to me tonight. You guys have been attentive, you've been respectful, all of you. Keep this mentality. Make a decision to be a great person, both at the rink, away from the rink. Okay? Any last thoughts? Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Give yourself a hand. All right, in about 10 minutes, so I want you to just kind of chill for a little bit. In about 10 minutes, Justin is going to take you to what room, Jay?
Boardroom?
Conference room.
Conference room?
Yep.
He's going to, but I want, between now and then, I want you to think of something that you want to, like a challenge that you want to get beyond. You don't have to sit and meditate or anything right now, but just think of a challenge you want to get better at. And Justin's going to take you and you're going to do some personalized work. You're going to learn some new things about your brain and how it works, and he's going to teach you some really cool things. So then after he's done with you, okay, I'm just going to ask you this in advance because I need a favor from you. Because after he's done with you, your parents still may be in here listening to me. And I'm going to tell you what I'm going to talk to your parents about so that you respect them being in here and respect being out there. I'm going to teach them about how to be the best possible parents to you that they can be. I'm going to teach them how to position themselves, how to encourage you, how to help you grow, how to help you mature, how to do that in a respectful way to you. I'm going to teach them about that. So in order to do that, when I'm in here teaching them, if you're done out there, I just need you to, behave yourself. And then they'll come out and get you. Okay? Fair enough? All right, thanks you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.